on 19th October, even when the result came, I was just thinking that which exam should I prepare for? Should I follow this strategy? Should I follow? Like, I was just on the other end, I would say. And I had my own phases of, like, you can not exactly, not feeling confident or feeling like would I be able to make it, and those feelings of those disheartening phases. But I think
Imagine that you achieve a moderate amount of success and you still do not stop because you have to reach to your primary goal, your main destination. That is the spirit of Mitali. She is a very resourceful person and I have been so inspired by talking to her about her journey. This is the story of how she cracked RBI Grade B in her very first attempt in the general category. Please enjoy. Hello, everyone. Today we have been joined by a very special guest, Miss Mitali Kapahi. She has cleared RBI Grade B 2019 and has joined us to share her experiences. So thank you so much, Mitali, for joining us here.
thank you, Supriyo, for inviting me. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
It's great to finally see you. And this success, it is actually a very special thing for each and every person. So I must ask you first to begin with, how do you feel right now?
I'm happy. I'm definitely very happy, but I think the feeling is still sinking in. So, it's been 5 days already, but yes, I'm still realizing, yes, this finally I have cleared. Yes. So, the feeling is still sinking. This is the main feeling right now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing, and your family must be elated, and it's just something that's amazing. Like the news itself must have been a big deal. And
Exactly.
so Mitali, tell us where you are from and your background a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm basically from Punjab, Ludhiana, Punjab, and I have done my graduation in engineering in 2016. I did that, and thereafter I worked in IT company for 2 years, and then I quit for preparing for UPSC. And when I couldn't clear the 2019 pre, I thought that I should I should give other exams also. So when I read about RBI, I was really excited about the profile that RBI was offering because it is less heard of among the aspirants, I would say. So, RBI really excited me, I would say, and the pay perks allowances were very, excellent. And also the work profile and the distinctive nature of the work. And I would say it's a varied work environment. You can get to work in various departments. So that was definitely a very factor to apply for RBI. Yeah.
That's amazing. And what's very interesting about your profile is that you were in IT, and I'm sure that a lot of people watching this today, they also work in IT. They also have big dreams like you, and you had quit your job for your preparation in UPSC, and it wasn't really a long preparation. Like it wasn't for a long time that you were going on. You actually cracked RBI on your very first attempt. So that's amazing. Yeah. And I am pretty sure that if somebody cracks it on their first attempt, they are actually imbibing all the mistakes that the other people have been making. So what were those mistakes, if you could talk about, that you realized early on and that shaped your preparation?
Yeah, actually, I started preparing for RBI only after the notification was out. So I definitely knew that I had a limited time, and I knew that other aspirants have been preparing for years. And so first of all, what was my strategy was that I watched a lot of topper talks, and I just picked out of their strategies like what would suit me because of my limited time. So I did a lot of choosing like this portion I'll cover from this here and like that because of the paucity of time. So that was one thing I did, like heavily depending on the topper talks. And secondly, I referred to the previous year papers because I knew that like finance has a large syllabus. So I knew that I wouldn't be able to cover it, wholly, like the basics also and everything. I had a background because of UPSC, but then again, a lot of stuff is there that is not, is not the same as compared to UPSC. So I read the previous year's papers, and then I, figure out the topics that were being asked again and again, like risk management, and some topics are important that are asked again and again. So I gave a priority to those topics that I'll cover these earlier. And then, as everyone says, management is highly scoring. So I prepared a short note for it and revised them again and again, so that I do not lose marks on these topics that are really highly scoring. And I
Okay.
guess for phase one, mainly mock tests, I just went for mock tests because of the, I had a background in aptitude because of the college placement test. So that just needed a kind of revision. Yeah. So these are
Okay.
some things I imbibed.
Okay, these are the key points, and it's very interesting that you said about the topper talks. So today you are on a
Yeah.
topper talk, and I hope that people are
Yeah.
listening to you and they're making notes, because you'll be telling us all the important things that you have followed. And
Yeah.
so I want to begin by your phase one marks, because phase two marks are not out yet. I will not put you on the
Yeah.
spot by asking if you have calculated those things.
No.
So just tell us about your phase one marks and how you actually structured your phase one preparation, because coming from a UPSC background, it's certainly quite difficult to actually crack phase one.
Yeah. So I think I had like 138 marks in phase one, and the score in GA was around 60. In quant, I got 23. In reasoning, I had 30, and in English, I had 28.75. English, so I have been studied in English medium only, and the English in this paper is very basic. So English was not a difficulty, and I have read newspapers also for the past years, so that was not very difficult. For GA, my strategy was that as I said, I have started preparing only after the notification was out. So from that day onward, I started reading the daily current affairs. I used to refer to Affairs Cloud website, and I've made short notes. Like I used to make one-liner notes, digital in a digital format. Of the while reading, I would only make notes, and I'll revise those notes only. Because I refer to GA for the previous 6 months, for the previous months, I used to refer to the compilations of Affairs Clouds and the Hindu Review by Bankers Adda. So I combined those two sources, and this was the wholly my GA preparation. And I used to refer to some videos also because like in my free time, I used to watch those videos, and that was just a kind of revision for me. So this was basically my strategy for GA, and I think GA is most mainly about revision because
Yeah.
there are a lot of little bit facts and everything. It's mainly about revision. And for quant, for quant and reasoning, I mainly relied on mock tests. I used to, after giving a mock test, I used to analyze a mock test like I used to analyze each and every question. And what is like, if I think that I'm spending much more time in a question, I used to, refer keep in what way that in what way I could, do that question faster. And for some questions which I didn't know, I used to go to the YouTube and refer to it's what is the way to solve these questions. Yeah. And after 4 or 5 mock tests, if I saw that I have been, like one topic I have been scoring less for many mock tests, I would prepare that topic specifically. But mainly I relied on mock tests only. I give a lot of mock tests, I would say. Yeah.
Okay,
That's the
that's
strategy.
interesting. So QRE, it was primarily geared towards the mock test, while the GA you had other sources like you mentioned. All those sources you had referred, and you also mentioned that you were creating digital notes. So what
Yeah.
format did you create those notes on? Which app, or what did you use basically?
I used to follow OneNote. Yeah.
Okay.
OneNote app.
Okay,
Yeah.
so in OneNote, you used to just note down all of these things, and revision is very important. Like you mentioned, that
Yeah.
revision plays a very vital role. And so, coming into the preparation for the phase two, I think that note taking thing is very important for the phase two as well, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
so the
Exactly.
ESI section, so economic and social issues. Tell me how you went about it, because many people are finding it very difficult to prepare.
Yeah, actually, I had a background in UPSC, so that really helped me because UPSC aspirants we follow Mrunal videos, and they are like the stepping stone for economics. I would say everyone watches that. So my economic basics basically are because of Mrunal sir only, and my preparation in UPSC definitely helped. And the ESI paper in these years has been following on the current route. Mainly, current affairs are asked in a whole lots of questions. So the GA preparation definitely helped in that. And apart from that, some topics like indices and schemes are very important. For schemes, I referred to Vision IAS PDF, and also I supplemented it with PIB. I used to refer to PIB also to supplement basically the information in the PDF, and I was maintaining that in the PDF only, so that there's only one revision source. And for indices, the GA sufficed actually. The GA in the newspapers or maybe in the compilations, the GA was enough. I used to do it from that only. And for other basics, I relied on mock tests also to add to my knowledge. Like I did olive board and practice mock test, but that were only supplementary. I didn't use to watch the scores and everything, how much I'm scoring. And this was for ESI, I would say yes. Baki the
FM.
economic survey budget, yeah, economic survey budget, and then SCCC caste census and census. These are also important documents. So I refer to those also. Yeah.
Yeah, and did you actually go through the entire economic survey? Because many people feel that they have to read it entirely. The direct questions do not come from that, but did you do that to actually strengthen your concepts?
No, actually, as I said, I didn't have enough time to read the whole economic survey. I just referred to the summary of economic survey by Vision IS, and for budget, I refer to the PIB summary. And also, one of our seniors, Mr. Srirang, has prepared a blog on that. He posts the summary of the budget and economic survey. I also refer to that to actually know what I have to study in the economic survey and budget. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. So that's how your ESI preparation was actually structured pretty well, and I'm sure that your UPSC background also helped in that. So I hope that people can take away that. And coming to the finance and management section, now this is not your field because you were in IT and you were in the UPSC race. So how did you structure your FM preparation? And do you think that courses helped you? Did you get any courses for these things?
Actually, no, I didn't get any paid course, but yes, I did refer to management notes of EduTap, and they were really helpful. They were very concise notes, and I covered management from that only, mainly from that only. And for some fringe topics, again, I refer to Srirang sir's notes on his blog, because some out of syllabus topics have been coming in recent years. So I refer to that. But mainly for management, I refer to EduTap notes. And I felt that these were sufficient. And in this year exam also, there weren't any out of topic questions. So, and luckily for me, management, I had prepared management very well because of the static nature. And there was a lot of questions. I think around more than 50 marks of paper was from management this year.
Yeah.
So that worked in my favor. And other than that, I feel for management, especially the leadership and motivation part, the modules that are there, I felt that there is a high need to make short notes because though the theories are so much confusing, so I made short notes and I revised them repeatedly, and they actually had a high return. There were many questions from those theories. Yeah. So that was for management. For finance, also there were current affairs. I would say the current affairs helped in that also. Other than that, I didn't have much time for numericals. I just referred to some basic formulas, and luckily no numericals came. And that also worked in my favor basically. But yes, I would say that there is a need to, we cannot leave numericals, but there is a need to study the numericals. I just refer to some formulas. And then the other part of the finance, I referred to the ESI preparation. I just noticed what are the important topics that are being asked, like the topics like FRBM Act and GST, different organizations, different reports by organizations in these fields. They were being asked again and again. So I just prepared a topic wise, like in the which topics are important, and I prepared those mainly. Yeah.
Okay, I see. So do you think that any kind of special mock tests are required for phase 2 preparation, or like you said that you were referring to all these compilations, you were making your own notes and then you were just revising those things? Is that the way to go in your opinion?
I think mock tests are important in the sense that you can use them to supplement your knowledge. I don't think they match, because anything can be asked in the exam, and mock tests always don't match that quality. I have read from the toppers talks, previous year's topper talks also, that they used to use mock tests as a adding source only, as a reference material to add to their notes. So I think mock tests should be used in that way only. And I feel that preparing your own notes is very important because they are in your own handwriting, and writing out like you have arranged them so you know which part is where and what is there, and it is easier to revise because you have done the whole structuring yourself. I feel this, and that really helped me. Yeah.
Yeah, what's interesting about what you mentioned is that even though you were referring to some other people who had compiled all those notes, you were actually creating your own notes. So you were writing
Yeah,
them down digitally or whatever. So you are just
yeah,
creating it yourself so that it becomes a personalized notes and you can revise those things easier. So I would
yeah,
encourage everybody watching to not run after the notes and just create the things from the raw material that's there, and you can just structure it better in that way. And I would
yeah,
also want to ask you about your English preparation. I know that you are good in English, so normally
yeah.
maybe you were not preparing specifically for that, but how did you prepare for the English paper?
No, actually, because I had referred to toppers talk, I realized that some of the toppers had made the mistake of not, preparing for English. So I actually prepared for English. I feel that English doesn't take much time, but it can be scoring if you prepare it. So I haven't got the scores yet, but I think I would have got a good score in English because I have got selected. So I feel that for English, basically I had prepared a list of topics for essays to jot down some fodder points for that. But I didn't get time to prepare points for all of them. But I did that for a few topics. So basically I had an idea like how to structure and how to do everything. And my main focus was to make the essay multidimensional. And I I used to make it a multidimensional, and main other focus was not to do grammatical errors in the essay. And I didn't use any fancy vocab. I had written in a very easy language. And I remember I had attempted the essay on 5G, and I mentioned the problems in the sector, telecom sector. I even mentioned the government efforts. I mentioned like how 5 trillion economy can be linked to it. So I tried to make it multidimensional. Yeah, that was my strategy for the essay. For Pressy, I think that the simple point is that you do not have to repeat the keywords or the phrases mentioned in the passage. You have to write it in your own language. So I just practiced one or two pressy, and I think I was good to go. For comprehension also, the how you articulate it is the main thing, and not repeating the phrases is the main thing. So I think I did refer to actually Merit Shine has 3 videos, and found them really helpful. One was for essay, one for pressy, and one for comprehension, and these 3 videos were really helpful. Yeah.
Okay, I see. So you have structured it in that manner, and I think you have actually gone through all the things that are required, like simultaneously. So that's big props to you that you could manage to do those things.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and coming on to the interview preparation, and it's a very different phase from the other phases.
Yeah.
So how did you structure your preparation for the interview, and what did you read? And if you could tell us that whether you were referring to some newspapers, if you could mention some.
Yeah, for the interview preparation, we had a lot of time. Like the result came on 18 December, I think, and my interview was on 4th March. So I had a good 2.5 months. So because I hadn't got much time before, I thought that I should build my basics now for the banking and everything, because anything can be asked in the interview. I think the interview mainly resides on 3 pillars, and that is, first is your profile and or the biodata that you give. Second is the current affair parts or your opinions about what is currently happening, and thirdly it is about the information about RBI. So for first my biodata, I actually gave my biodata to my family, to my friends and everyone, and I just asked them I also prepared a lot of questions, but I was like, you also gave me any question you feel like. And I also had a lot of mock interviews with my friends, telephonic, face to face, and that was really a good practice session, I would say. Like I would have a question bank of, I think, around 500-600 questions only from my biodata only.
Okay.
Yeah. So that I prepared really well. And secondly, the thing I mentioned, the CA, current affairs, I used to refer to the Live Mint newspaper and the Economic Times. I used to read their editorials, and whatever was happening around, I just wanted that I should have an opinion. I should know why this is happening, and I should have my opinion about it. Is it good? Is it bad? How it could be? If it is bad, how it could be corrected? I had prepared notes for that also, like from the editorials. And for RBI, about RBI, I had read the RBI website, and some speeches I had prepared, 2 or 3 speeches I had prepared. I had referred to some circulars also. Also, there's one important PDF, that is Functions and Working of RBI. So that gives you a glimpse into the working of the RBI. So that was I felt it was very important because it gave deep insights into working of RBI. And I think any question, if you are asked about RBI, you should know it in that context. So that was important. That was mainly about my preparation for interview. Otherwise, I also, whenever I had free time, I used to practice in front of the mirror, articulating my answers, how I'd say that. Also, in my mind, I just kept on revising the HR questions like why RBA, why are you switching, and so that really made it like I had gotten enough flow, and also I could prepare counter questions myself. Like if they ask why not this, why this, so that really helped. And I think the way I had imagined in my mind, most of like in the even in the interview, it went in the same way. Like there were not much cross questions. Even if there were cross questions, I had figured out that this could be asked. So that was good for me. Yeah.
Okay, I see. And you mentioned the RBI speeches, and many people have actually asked me this question that they are finding it very difficult to read those speeches since they are very dense and have a lot of technical things. So did you actually read those speeches yourself, and or did you refer to just news articles and you collected the points? And if you could go into a little bit about the questions that were asked to you in your interview.
Yeah, regarding the speeches, I think not memorizing it is not important. I think getting the idea what the speaker is saying, and like I refer to some speeches that were based on the on MSMEs. So knowing basically what are the problems facing MSMEs, or what the government is doing, like it helps to you to prepare in a whole manner. I don't think you need to remember the data. You just need to remember how much it is contributing to the economy, but not a very deep, dense data. They just want to know your grasp of the concepts. I think even if they ask, though no question was asked to me from speeches, but I think they just want that you should have a like view of what is ailing that sector, what reforms need to be made. I think that is the face. And regarding what questions were asked to me in the interview, actually, I had mentioned CSR in my previous company that I used to participate in CSR activities. So
the corporate social responsibility, right?
Yeah. A chunk of my interview was dedicated to it. Like they started from CSR, they asked the provisions in the Companies Act about it, and then they moved to corporate governance. Then they moved to the corporate governance issues in public sector banks, private sector banks, how it can be corrected, PGNI committee recommendations. It revolved around that. Another segment was like, why am I switching? Like, why RBI? How do I think I'll fit in RBI? So one question that was asked, like, how would you use your skills in RBI? So I had said that as I have worked in IT sector, I could contribute to the payment and settlement systems department because they are, developing and they are innovating a lot in terms of technology. So the interviewer said to me that we are doing very good in that. So I just said that I think there's always a scope for improvement and the technology is improving every day. So he was kind of like, yeah, good. So that was a nice moment in the interview. And otherwise, also they asked me like what about technology, also that what all reforms are being made in the like worldwide, like the what is being done in Sweden, and what do you think that RBI should do? Like it revolved around technology also, and some of economics also, difference between money and currency, why need of a central bank, functions of money. Yeah, I think that was all about it, the interview.
Okay.
There were some stress moments also, but yes, I think being calm and composed and not getting nervous is what they are testing. So if you are smiling, even if you don't know, I think you can say that you do not know, and you can just say keep on smiling, and or you can just say that I'll read more about it. I remember in a lot of questions I said, sir, I do not have an idea. Or if they said that you do not have enough knowledge, so I said, sir, I'll read more about it. This is what I know right now, but I am ready to read more about it, learn about it. And I think that really worked.
Okay, that positive attitude that I am willing to learn and I'll be learning
Yeah.
what's required. That's something that they're looking at. So that's a quality
Yeah.
that they are often focused on. And any
Yeah.
questions about the IT? And I think that some people sometimes they feel that if we do not belong to the banking field, if we do not belong to the finance field, and we are coming into this interview about the RBI. So did you structure your story in that way? Because I feel that everybody tells a story who gets selected in RBI. So how
Yeah.
did you just, if you could go into a little bit into the story that you told them regarding why you are actually passionate about RBI, about how do you actually get into this preparation from your IT field?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, they asked me like where I would fit in. So I gave them the example as I've worked in
Yes, yes.
technology, and I related it to the new technologies that are coming, like blockchain, AI, ML, and the work that has been going worldwide regarding that. The Riksbank is doing, Sweden's Riksbank is developing a digital currency. I gave those examples, and then the need of like using these technologies or the machine learning or the big data we can use to analyze. Those references were also made in the interview, like how can we use. And I was also asked the difference between artificial intelligence and machine learning, so that revolved around the IT. And when I was asked how I would contribute, I just said that I have a background in technology, so I could do well in these fields. Yeah. So that was the main IT part or the mention in the interview. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I see. And also, let's talk a little bit about your failures and your setbacks in life, because so many people are only talking about the success. So, what were your setbacks in life? What shaped you in that way into RBI? Like, because RBI is something that is happening now, right? So, over the
Yeah.
years, that there might have been setbacks. So, talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, actually, I would say I have been really lucky that I have had failures, but I still feel that I got the success. And I remember when I couldn't clear the prelims in UPSC prelims, and it had been a 1 year of preparation, and I was really devastated that what am I gonna do now, because I had left my job for that, and it doesn't make sense at that time. Like you left your job, and it was a good, well-paid job, and I left that, and it was like, what am I doing with my life? Should I even have quit the job? But yes, I think that things work out in your favor. Then I started going for other exams. I started thinking that what other exams I could go, and it turned in my favor. So I think I have been lucky because I didn't have very much of a big struggle time. That was that attempt that really shook me. Like, why couldn't I clear, and what were? But I think I analyzed my mistakes, and I think like what I could have done better. So that was like there, that I realized that there were some, that some things that I hadn't done well, that is why this happened. So yes, that helped me in RBI. I would say I prepared better for this and not try not to make those mistakes. Yeah.
Okay, very, very interesting. And did you
Yeah.
have any other preparations? Like you were preparing for RBI, of course, and UPSC
Yeah.
maybe, and any other exams did you target so that you could get into the flow of these kinds of bank exams?
Yeah, actually, I gave the IBPS PO exam also, and luckily, I was able to clear it also. I had got a joining in PNB. Like I had got selected in PNB. Luckily, I hadn't joined or anything, and I gave IBPS also. I gave many exams. I gave SSC also, and but all of the results were awaited. I would say only I got the result of IBPS PO. Yeah.
Okay, okay, I see. So this is also something that people should note, that you are casting a wide net. You are not just focused
Yeah,
on this
definitely.
exam. Like this is your dream exam, of course, but you have to
Yeah.
cast a wider net so that you increase your chances. And agar ye nahi hua, to you can fall back on something else. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
yeah, that's a very
I
interesting
really
thing.
believe that because when I had quit my job and I wasn't selected in pre, I felt like I need some kind of security. Because without a job, I think for me, I cannot say it for other people. For me, it was an added pressure. Like I do not have a job and the financial independence. So that was a pressure, and that thing I realized, and that's why I thought that even if I get a IBPS job, PO job, that is fine for me. I'll keep on preparing for other exams, but yes, I should settle for a job so that that mental pressure gets off me. Yeah.
That's an amazing attitude to have. And I feel like talking to you, I feel that there must have been people in your life, special people who have actually
Yeah,
supported you
definitely.
throughout your journey. So if you want to name some of them.
Yeah, definitely. I think that having a support system is very important during these times. It is due to the corona crisis also, and I think in this exam phase, I feel that my family was really very supportive. Like my parents, though they were apprehensive when I left the job, but they were always very supportive. Like if I said I want to prepare for this exam only, they were like, "Okay, we are with you." So when I said I want to prepare for the exam, they were like, "Yes." So that really the support I had from family was, and my friends also. Like I used to pair with one of my friend, and like I remember like during my interview I used to call him, or I used to, because we used to study together, so I used to show my answers to him, like I'm not liking this part of the answer, should I do it this way, should I do this, and poking him and asking I'm not liking this. So, and some other friends also, I had like literally sent my biodata, and I used to call them every day, like, this question is not, is this answer fine? Is this answer fine? So yes, support system is very important. I think that is a very big part in my success. That really helped me succeed, because I didn't have those tensions, and I know that my parents, my friends are really supportive. So yes, that is a big factor in my success. Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I'm sure that all these people who have been supporting you, they must be so proud of you. And it's just
Yeah.
amazing. And as we try to wrap this thing up, there are a lot of young women who might be watching this today. So what do you
Yeah.
want to tell to them? Because you have succeeded somewhere that is primarily seen as a male dominated field. So you have succeeded in this difficult exam and in a general category as well. So what do you actually want to tell these women who are watching you today, who are going through struggles?
Yeah, I would just say that we all have struggles, and I think on 19th October, even when the result came, I was just thinking that which exam should I prepare for? Should I follow this strategy? Should I follow? Like, I was just on the other end, I would say, and I had my own phases of, like, you can not exactly, not feeling confident, or feeling like would I be able to make it, and those feelings of those disheartening phases. But I think we should have like confidence in our struggle, and we should just believe in our hard work that we will succeed. I i just want to clear here that we should have a great strategy, and we should work hard, but we should also be like confident that we will succeed, and keep on working. Everyone has their struggles, and everyone has those phases where a person feels like I don't think I'm good enough. So just keep on working hard, and someday you will be on the other side. I really believe that. Yeah, someday you will also achieve that success. Yeah.
That's a very inspirational thing to say. And so as we come to a close of this session, is there any final message that you want to put out to everybody that's watching as we end this?
Yeah, my message is this only, like, keep on strategizing and keep on preparing. And there are phases of disheartenment, but, I think we should just keep on moving forward on the path, and we will all, achieve success. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a wonderful way to actually end this session. And talking to you, I feel that you are a very down-to-earth person. You actually were still trying to find out which exams you were going to attempt just a few days back. So you're already hustling, and you are trying to get to the next level. You're not looking back down to the things that have happened, but you are trying to achieve the next step, the next thing in your life. And I'm sure that in RBI, you're also going to do the same thing. I look forward to the great things that you're going to achieve in the coming years. And thank you so much, Mitali, for taking out the time for this. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. It was great talking to you. Great talking. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.